One political observer says he expects a lot of focus to be on how Pritam Singh makes use of the privileges and additional resources to raise the opposition's level of debate in Parliament.
I think considering the lack of resources that the opposition had prior to the general election 2020, I would say that this is a significant increase, modest as it might be, when you compare with other jurisdictions. But the question is not over how much resources the leader of opposition will get. I think it's really more a question of how the leader of opposition, will make use of the resources. Whether we will see more incisive and probing scrutiny of government's policies and actions in Parliament. I think that naturally the expectations, of those duties, of how the opposition fulfills those duties will naturally increase as well. And I think it stands to reason that if the resources are properly marshaled, there is no reason why the opposition would not be able, to raise their game to an even higher standard.
On what could be expected between the discussions between Mr. Singh and the Progress Singapore Party's NCMPs, Associate Professor Tan says both parties could share their strengths and capabilities in presenting the opposition's views in Parliament.
Now, of course, NCMPs and elected MPs have the same voting rights and privileges, but I think in terms of standing, in terms of the number, in terms of the parliamentary experience, the Workers' Party would certainly have a lot more of those, than the Progress Singapore Party. But it will be a measure of how effective Mr. Pritam Singh is as the leader of opposition. If he's able, to have the Workers' Party work very closely with the Progress Singapore Party, because if they're able to work together, then you will have a situation in which two of the leading parties, perhaps marshalling their resources, sharing their strengths, bringing their different capabilities to the table when it comes to the various parliamentary duties that are expected of the opposition.